Alright, so here we are at Sand Springs in northern Death Valley. After looking around for a while, Roxana found the actual water source. It had moved some. We're getting ready to head out that way, but the rain finally stopped, so we decided to take a look around, and it turns out the spring itself has moved quite a bit over to here. It's usually up in those little hills. Now it's a seep down here. Was a pretty crazy journey getting here. Last night it was supposed to be clear and ended up snowing in the mountains. Took so much longer. It was crazy driving. Hoping, well, we did not slide off the mountain, so it worked out all right. And then this morning we were crossing the mountains into Death Valley, and it was raining pretty hard over here. It was even snowing a little bit. And now we're ready to head out that way. Except for this time we did get a good rest last night. Usually we're coming here off of an all-night drive and barely rest. We stayed in a motel, and we got a good lunch and we're relaxed. I want to mention I intentionally keep this channel small so I can show you some of this more sensitive sites without worrying about how many people I'm going to send out there. But if you have thousands of viewers, please be very careful about how you show some of what I'm about to show you. Thanks. And the plan is to backpack in tonight, spend most of the day tomorrow checking out the canyon, and then head back out. Because this is such a remote area and it takes a little bit of knowing what you're doing to get to this place, I'm not going to provide very much information. But, once you know, you can just search out the corridor, get Dejanay's book, and read about what to do, and then go from there. My other video, linked in the description, has a little more info, but not much. It does have a good, helpful getting up the dry fall bit, though. Yeah, the lighting is not great, but we go up into the north end. Quick look around the bend, and then we'll show you in the other direction. All right. This got a little too rough. I probably could just barely scramble up there, but if any of this lets go, it'd be a problem. I'm a little disappointed because I could, if you get to up to there, then you could go over there and go up and past that dry fall. But pretty difficult. Probably just shouldn't risk it. There I am, hoping I don't get hit in the head with a rock. Need a helmet here. Yeah, so I was most of the way up there, and I mean, that was getting a little vertical, and my two concerns were, one, I would drop something off of there, but then you'd have to go up along there, and then that looks, if anything falls, that'd be a problem. It's too bad, though, because then once you get up there, you could get to there. Although, as you can see, there's not a whole lot up there anyway. This is where the main stuff is. There is a little bit more straight corridor up there, but not as much. So anyway, at least I got up there. Now we're gonna go to the other end. So that was the north end. That is the way out. And here we go into the south end. I'm gonna hang out and have lunch and wait for this shadow to get smaller. So that end is still a little shaded, but we'll see. And we're coming down to this half, it's just this little jog, and it keeps going quite a ways. I think we found our place to make lunch. Look at this little table. We'll wait for the sun. Yeah, after lunch we got pretty good full sun here. It's late April, around 11 in the morning. Probably goes till 12 or 1, but the sun is limited. After a while, it's not going to hit both walls. It's going to, in the winter, who knows, probably passes over pretty quickly. We It is getting more popular out here. We can see a lot more footprints than we used to, but still, we're out here Saturday, Sunday, and nobody came by, nobody at all. Just driving to this area is such an ordeal. Most people pretty much camp at the road somewhere. They're not hiking. That's why it stays relatively empty out here. So there's where it was, and it makes a little hairpin turn. And we're just gonna go a little bit of the ways. It goes all the way out to Saline Valley, which is quite a ways. And then we'd have to go back because, yeah, you're not looping around from there. But anyway, here it comes. Yeah. So it goes left there, and it's just gonna keep going like that. We can kind of see. Just what a fascinating place. I was telling Roxana, it's like hiking in a museum, huh, Roxana? Except for every time we stop for a minute, the flies want to swarm us. But yeah, we got a few hours hike out. I'll show you a little bit of that, but I got a more detailed video already of the hike, so probably just I'll show you where we camped. We had last time we did it as a day hike, but it's much better as a backpack. Here we have it. This is the one tricky part, is getting here when the sun is going to shine through it. It's kind of in the middle of the day. And we're on our way out. We'll show you a little bit of that and where we camped, and yeah, pretty awesome time. Glad to have made it back finally. Coming up to the little jog, and then we'll be back to almost to the middle here. Or to the exit, put it that way. There we go. Here's our little jog over. Came from back there. And this part is super straight and nice high walls. And then the exit is just at the end of this. And here's the last little jog into the next bit here, and our exit is just up ahead. This is our third trip to the area. We've never run into any other hikers. We have seen other cars at the trailhead on our way out. And maybe we'll come back one more time to go to another section, but I'm glad we got such a good look this time because, yeah, we probably won't make it back to the corridor here. But, yeah, we really needed to come back. Last time my camera died. We didn't quite get the right light. We're a little bit overtired. Still had a fantastic time, but I really like to do everything twice anyway, at least. If it's worth doing once, it's worth doing again, I think. Yeah, we really had a nice time this trip. The weather was very nice. Started out rough, but got very nice. Other trips has been very windy and a little cooler. This is perfect. So on top of all the usual Death Valley hazards and the extreme ordeal of just getting to the trailhead, we have also the dry fall here. Our other corridor video shows us getting up this thing, and it's not that difficult, but you do have to be ready for it, and you have to be tall enough, or else you're going to be scrounging for rocks to stack. What I'm going to do is climb up here, she'll hand me all our stuff, I'll come back down and kind of boost her up. It's very easy. She's a little too short though to grab onto the handholds. But I can just grab there and bam. It's not too hard. Now with that, it could, but it's a little wobbly, and that top step is really terrible. I don't know. Well, I guess it's good for really short people if they're alone. Really, say it again. Don't you feel like a champion?
I I said, no, by the grace of God, you didn't have to leave me down there to die.
We actually took away the very top rock from the stack, which you can't even see from up here. You have to get down there and look over. And I boosted her up a little, and it's fine. There's like enough handholds. I just climb right up that way. It's not easy. You definitely have to be, I'm just about 6 foot, and you have to be about that tall to really be able to do it easily. But it's not impossible. Anyway, from here out, well, we'll show you the camp. Yeah, we'll show you the camp in a minute. So again, I know my viewers, you'll all be very respectful if you haven't managed to come out here, but just think carefully about how you share it with other people. Thanks. Well, I've noticed people are starting to show this sort of thing in other videos, and, you know, this video's poorly labeled. I really don't get very many views, so I feel safe showing it to you folks that have been following me all this time, and the few that search out this video. I know most of you won't make it out here, so you get to see it, and anybody who does, any other literature you read about this place, it's going to show you what's here. So yeah, here's a look at some of them. They're at a junction along the trail. And here we also have the bonus of a few fossils. They're crinoids, ancient marine little plant life. So we're heading out that way. It's about 3 miles. And it's funny, we actually slept right here, was where our camp was. And I decided, I mean, there is literally no one else out here. But I thought if someone did come hiking, I didn't want my tent, you know, right in the middle of their trail and messing with their view. So we brought it up there. And what's funny, now if you know anything about the desert, you might already be saying, oh, you're in a wash. Not only were we in a wash, we're at the bottom of a dry fall. And yes, it was actually raining last night a little bit. It was snowing and raining all over the mountains on our drive to the park. But we know what season it is, and you know, you see how it's gone. It was not going to be anything heavy. It was tiny drips. It is kind of funny though. It's like one of the great ways to die in the desert is to drown in a situation like this. But I'm sure even if something did happen, it would wake us up. And this is not like Utah where a storm 100 miles away creates a flood here. It would have to rain really hard right up there, or else nothing's happening here. So it's so dry here. There are literally years of footprints. Like there's just a trail of footprints going down there. Very few people come out here, but your footprints pretty much stay for years. So that's what you can count on. Even if you're a little bit lost, you'd find your way out just following the footprints. Anyway, we've had a fantastic time. I'll show you up here. I'm going to climb up here real quick. All these things have nice little step holds in them. And we actually, after dinner, just kind of sat up in here with the bright light. It was kind of fun. Nice little cove, but we didn't want to have any rocks fall on us in the middle of the night. That's why we were down there. It's a place where, you know, if a rock, that's the one thing, springtime, this is April, the rocks, the wind and the changing temperatures, these rocks are shifting. We did hear one fall yesterday. So, yeah, you don't want to get killed in the middle of the night by a falling rock. All right, well, it's been a fantastic hike. And Roxana, what do you think? Yeah, she's really happy we made it back up the dry fall. We're going to pack up our tent and head out. So thanks for coming with us. Take a look at that other dry fall up there, too. These things are just beautiful. It's everywhere. See you next time.